Welcome to Entering the Light Fantastic, a message, channeled message from the other side. This is our 7th session, and each one gets better and better. We do these videos to give my son, who is in spirit, a platform to bring in messages from the other side. My dear friend, amazing medium and channel, Marty McCrae, channels my son, and he asked to do this. So this is one of the reasons why we do this. As always, our contact information will be at the end of the video. If you'd like a reading from Marty, her email and website is at the end. My book information that I wrote about my journey with my son and our work together with orbs and orb photography, and my website and my Facebook page. So I'm going to bring in Marty. We'll get this session started and we'll see what he has to say, because last session was amazing. So we'll see if Robbie has any special guests today. Marty, welcome.
Hey.
I was just telling everybody, kind of piggybacking on the last session about Robbie's special guests. So I never know really what Robbie has to say, but he does come in and sometimes and give you a preview. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or words or a topic. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit how he drops? And it's just hints, right? We really don't know too much.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I didn't know anything about last week's special guest. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And
but wonderful.
Yeah, amazing. Just a real miracle. And sorry, let me dink around with this.
Yeah, just there you go. Now we can see you better.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, it was he'll come in like when I'm blow drying my hair beforehand. and that's, I just kind of wait. I always expect him, like, hello, are you there? If I don't hear from him, but I usually do hear from him.
So these are on this is right before we do these sessions.
Yeah.
He knows the day he's expecting you.
Yeah. And he'll pop in and just say, hey, what's up? And he'll I'll just say, well, do you got any ideas? Oh yeah, I got ideas. And usually he won't say much, but he did say, I knew the last week's word was going to be perseverance. Because I woke up and I had dreamed about that, and I said, oh, I knew he was around, and I said, hey, is that you? You want to talk about perseverance? And he goes, maybe. And so I'm like, okay.
Okay.
He's a teaser. He's always teasing me and kind of flips me,
Yeah. Robbie loves humor, loves laughter, so he always tries to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, shall we get this started and see what he wants to talk about today?
All right.
So I'm going to let Marty go into her trance. Sometimes it takes up to from a minute to 3 minutes, and I do edit that out on the video, so you don't sit there and watch dead time. So go ahead, Marty, and Robbie will let me know when he's there and ready.
I'm here.
Hello, my son.
Hey.
I see your foot's going already. Are you drumming?
Yep.
My son was a drummer in real life, a very good drummer, and his life was drumming. And it's really funny because when he comes into Marty's body, he drums. It drives her crazy. What have you been up to, my son, since the last meeting?
Well, a lot. I mean, mostly I'm doing the things that, well, it's kind of what I want to talk about today.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing the things that feed my soul.
Feed your soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the topic of today. We want to talk about why it's so important, and I've been instructed to tell you this, why it's so important to do things that feed your soul.
When you say you're instructed to tell us, can I ask who's instructing you?
This is from Jesus.
Okay.
This is straight from the word of Jesus. And, but, it's funny because I like to spend my days doing what I love to do, which is I'm playing with my animals. I have a lot of animals that I'm friends with over here. A lot of dogs that we had in life, I have over here. And I spend my time out in nature as much as I can, but I'm also drumming like constantly all the time because that's what feeds my soul. And yeah, I just thought I was thinking about it, going, you know what, this is what we have to talk about because um, there's a huge aspect of life that's being neglected by a lot of people on Earth right now. And listen, I know why. I know the reasons why are so many, but I just want to say, first of all, thank you to my parents
Oh,
because, yeah, well, yeah, thank you,
you're welcome.
because you know you guys made it so I could do really whatever I needed to do, whatever it was that I needed to do that I wanted to do, playing drums, you know, martial arts, um, everything, surfing and skiing and, just everything that I wanted to do in life. I pretty much did it. And that's huge. That's a blessing.
Oh,
And many, many people don't get to do that. And I kind of never understood why when I was in the human body. I
right.
didn't I didn't understand why is it that everyone's not doing what they love to do. Why
Oh,
wouldn't you do that?
okay.
And so I guess what Jesus and everyone else over here in the audience that's watching from this side, what they are wanting me to convey back to you in the physical human world is that, dang, you need to really focus in on what it is you love, what feeds your soul, because you're not only here to struggle and stress in the physical world. I know we've talked about that in the past few videos that, perseverance and, you know, whatever. I mean, those are all good and fine and well, but there has to be a balance.
Hmm.
And you're not only in the physical plane to suffer and have these hard, terrible lessons,
Uh-huh.
you're also in the physical plane to, you know, have joy,
Yeah.
feel what it is to have joy in your life, because the most pure and honest joy, I'm just going to say this right now, this is that's what feeds your soul. Joy feeds your soul. So if you're not experiencing, at least get some moments of joy and laughter in your week. That's like really, really super important. Just, even if you're busy working all the time, and you're just like, I don't have time to have a hobby or, interest outside of work or, fine. Just come home and play with your kids or play with your dog or, call a friend. I mean, get some laughter and joy in your life.
Yeah.
That's really crucial. It's like, well, it's like what I've been told is like, it's an element of balance that needs to really happen. And most adults, for lack of a better word, in the human body, forget about joy. It's like the first thing to go when you have problems, when you have kids to look after, or you have to put food on the table, or you're worried about paying bills, or you've got medical issues, or I don't know. I'm just saying that even in the midst of all of that, you can still
Yeah.
find joy. It's just very, very, I can't emphasize enough how important it is. Find joy, do what feeds your soul. And
So
yes,
find, I'm sorry, Robbie. So find your joy, because joy is an individual emotion
yeah,
and everybody has something different that brings them joy. But they do know what that is in their soul, right? It's not new to them, but they need to feed it.
yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's totally true. It's yeah, it's one of those things. You'll know it when you find it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I,
you know it when you see it. You'll know the feeling that you get, whatever it is you're doing. It's like nothing else. For me, it was drumming. I
yeah.
mean, I can't live without drumming. It's like just part of my heart. It's in my soul. I feel like I came into the world that way. I was never not drumming,
That's
and
true.
I
Even
can't live
at the
without
dinner
it.
table.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do it. I can't. My body, my soul, I can't say my body. I mean, my soul ran that body.
Yeah.
So my soul always needs to be have music around. I can't live without music. It's just the be all and end all for me. It's everything to me. I mean, always looking for new music, always trying to find a way to improve the type of music that I can make. I have a passion for it, and I came in the world that way. And I know that it's from previous lifetimes. I know that it's just part of my soul, and I've worked on it so much in the last life and in a couple lives before that I
So,
can't live without it.
so we could be bringing in these talents or passions with us,
Yep.
and we recognize that and experience that. That's why we experience that joy again. But Robbie, just for a second, first of all, thank you for thanking me and your dad for giving you the freedom. But we wanted you to find out what it was that resonated with you. You know, what was your passion? So it wasn't a job, a work. But you said you didn't understand why everybody wasn't experiencing their joy, their passion. And so we as parents, are we giving our children enough freedom to find that? Or are we, I, if there's something you can say to parents out there to help them with their own children to find their joy or passion.
Wow. So that's a lot. Um, Mom, I'm not a parent.
You were in
So
another lifetime, come on.
I'm just
Maybe it's enough just to know that we need to do it.
yeah, I don't think it's up to parents. I mean, that's great if you can expose your kids to lots of things, if you can let them try out things. But a lot of things in the physical world, I remember, cost a lot of money. And so there's, probably the majority of Americans don't have money to burn on, follow your dream, follow your passion, kid. I mean, so I was blessed that we did, or you guys made it a priority.
Mhm.
But it can just be as simple as, and this is what I wanted to say. I almost forgot to tell you. So where we are right now, where I'm standing on the other side, is out in nature today,
Oh,
and we've got a ton of animals here. It's like we've got half the audience is animal spirits.
really?
Yeah, and so that's pretty cool because I was thinking, well, I wonder why it's all these animals that showed up today. That's kind of cool. And then I thought, oh, duh, I get it. Okay, yeah, because that's my passion. That's another one of my passions is I just it's just a given. I love animals. I love to hang out with my dogs and play with the dogs. And so I thought, oh well, yeah, they're here. And yeah, it's not lost on me that Marty and you and everyone I know who's good people loves dogs, loves animals. So that's who's here is watching. And animals are a way of connecting uh, with your joy, connecting the animals. The love of animals really feeds my soul.
Yeah.
And so I just want to share that with you that it's no coincidence that they all showed up to watch us.
And it's no coincidence either. And for the audience, I had a German Shepherd, and he was beautiful. He was half white Shepherd and half black and tan Shepherd, and he was really special. I told people he was my soul dog, and we could talk, just by looking into each other's eyes. I felt sometimes, but just 2 nights ago, Robbie, I had a dream about him, and we were walking, I think, in your field, and Shadow and I were talking again. So interesting that you're standing there with all of our dogs in the middle of nature.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool, Mom.
Yeah. So why else are the animals there? Did they have a message for us today?
Hey, I don't know. Good question. Let me see.
Okay.
The word is support.
Ah,
Support.
okay.
So that's just being the way the animals talk in spirit and in the human world, I've come to know, is pictures. And so I just saw a picture was sent to me with the word support,
Oh, oh,
support and love. And so that's what animals give to us is emotional support and love. Um, interesting. So I guess the feeling of feeding your soul as added to by these animals here, what does that mean?
mm-hmm.
It's funny. What I'm seeing is there's cats and dogs and pigs and chickens and little field mice, and there's every kind of animal you could think of here, and they've all got something to say about what it means to be animal, what it means to be a human animal.
Oh,
So the difference between our wild animal friends, everyone, or even our domesticated animals, right?
yep.
The difference between them and being a human, there are some lessons. So if you can think about it, this is what I'm being told telepathically by this group of animal spirits. They're saying that they don't have to think. Animals, any animal that's not a human, doesn't have to think about what are they doing, why are they doing it. They just do.
Okay.
They are just free to
Live in the
be.
moment.
Yes. And so that's something that we can learn from our animals is to stop being so self-conscious,
Uh-huh.
um, so worried about what will other people think. Um, and that's a vibration that I'm just being told right now by animals. That's what humans need to work on is stop worrying so much about the opinions of others.
Mm-hmm.
Do what feeds your own soul,
Okay.
and no matter how weird it is, well, within limits.
No harm to
But
others. Right.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, and I think the dogs, what you said, living in the moment, because we lose the moment that we are given by worrying about what has happened and what might happen, right?
yes. And so this is pretty funny, Mom. You really like this. So as you were saying that, these animals were all, don't waste time on electronics. Which I get the irony of that, right? That
Yeah.
we're making a video that people are going to sit around and
Watch
watch
on your
on
electronic
YouTube. So, but
balance.
hey, if it brings you joy, in limited doses, it's okay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel guilty about playing video games. If that's what brings you joy and really feeds your soul, there's some really cool stuff out there in video games right now. Oh my God. I mean, just the coolest stuff ever. And so if that really feeds your soul, so be it, because you can lose yourself, right, in a video game. But it's within reason. It's balance.
Hmm.
Balance and feeding your soul have to go hand in hand.
Sure.
So I don't know. these animals are saying, the animals are putting the veto on me, right? They're saying, no, tell them to stop watching so much electronics. So I think that's a huge thing that animals want to say.
Get
That
out of nature and yeah, experience more of life. Yeah. Don't let it become your whole world.
That's right, because there's a danger in that. I'm
Sure.
just saying, for most of us who don't have a video game problem, who don't or aren't addicted to electronics in one form or another, finding what feeds your soul, the animals want to emphasize, don't let your soul be wrapped up in electronics.
Okay.
Even though it's a great means of communication, don't let your soul be wrapped up in that. You'll find your soul, and you'll find what feeds your soul and feeds your joy, your passion in the physical world. A physical world.
So,
So,
Robbie, feeding your soul
mhm.
is nourishing your soul. Your soul will grow. If we don't feed it, does it wither? Does our soul go backwards?
It stagnates.
Stagnates?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just stagnates. It just show it's you won't grow. You won't learn. You'll find when you're pursuing your joy, when you're wrapped up in your passion, um, the natural output is progress, or lessons learned, or you've grown as a person, you've grown um, as a human being. you,
Okay.
it just happens because you can't when you're in the flow, when you're in that flow of music or drumming. I can only really speak to drumming for me. Like, drumming is what gets me there, and I can just lose time if I just drum, 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 drum. I make up new beats. I can, create new ideas for a band or music, or, hey, let's do it this way. Hey, let's change it that way. And it's a collaboration with me over here because I'm working with other people, other musicians.
Who
And
who are you working with? Can you tell us?
uh, uh, yeah, I mean, I'm working with lots of people, lots of guys, lots of folks. I don't want to violate anyone's privacy, but yeah,
So you
so
literally have a band that you sit in on.
lots, lots
One.
of different ones because I can choose whoever. But yeah, one of my favorite ones, as you know already, is one of my new favorites on the other side is Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Ah,
Maurice White in particular.
uh-huh.
So that guy has taught me a ton about drumming, and that guy has taught me a ton about how to live, the best way to live. And but I don't want to digress into that.
Okay.
But the main thing for me, of what you learn when you lose yourself in just having fun or enjoy is well, it's what it is to be human.
Okay.
That's what separates us from animals. Um, we can take our thoughts and our joy. When you're in joy, it's pretty hard to be racist or sexist or a jerk or unkind to animals or bad to others. When you're living in joy, everything's pretty easy, right?
Hmm.
Doesn't it just make the day go better when you've already got your needs met? You've already got your fun for the day. It just makes you
Yeah,
just
it really
feel
it elevates your emotion. It
that's right.
elevates your ability to love, I think, when you're in
Yeah,
joy.
compassion.
Yeah.
It elevates your compassion, mom. It does. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you're standing in nature. Um, what kind of nature? Are you in a forest? Are you in by the mountains? Are you by the beach? Where are you, honey?
Um, yeah, right now it's like a stream. We've got a mountain stream going and a little meadow by the mountain stream. Yeah.
And okay, so I'm picturing it like a Disney movie where you're out there and all the animals are seated in front of you and the butterflies are flying and the birds are tweeting and
Yeah. Yeah, it's not far off.
Yeah. So, who else is there with you this time? You've been drawing quite a crowd. Um, uh, Anybody else there that wants to add anything? Because we have maybe 5 more minutes here.
Humans. Oh, no, today it's all about the animals.
Okay.
So we've got like the 90% animals, and I don't know. There's some folks over there. No, nobody wants to add anything that's a human.
Okay.
Maybe we should hear from the animals again.
Okay.
So because clearly they're here for a reason.
Right.
Um, I'm taking questions.
Okay.
Uh, grace is the other word I'm being shown. Grace. So
Does this come as a collective from all the animals, Robbie,
yes,
or is there a certain animal that's talking to you?
no. This is a collective from the group.
Okay.
They're deciding. Okay, what do we want to say? How do we want to say it? Well, they want to communicate grace
Okay.
and the grace of God. So I don't know. Sometimes these things kind of trip me out because it's like, what is all? I mean, so I show up and then the animals. Uh, grace. The animals want to communicate why they're connected to us, what we can learn from them.
Okay.
What we can learn from them that ties into feeding your soul is the love of animals will feed your soul. And
Uh,
our respect for animals and the grace, the animals are inherently um, innocent. What's the word I'm looking for? Innocent and full of the grace of God. This is getting pretty preachy, but these are the animals, not me.
okay.
Uh, so the animals are pure heart, and they're saying that by loving an animal, by developing a relationship with an animal, you're touching the grace of God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is pretty intense. This is what they're saying is the grace of God that they give to us is unconditional love, right?
Yeah. Especially dogs.
They just love you because they love you. And there's no agenda. They're just here to support and love. So what was the first word they brought through was support,
Yeah.
and now love, unconditional love, and grace, the grace of God. So by us, this is really an important message that they want to communicate, that like a few videos back when we were talking, there was a gal in the audience, a lady in the audience, a
I
really
remember
nice,
her. Her name was Lisa.
yeah. And she said the end of racism is coming. We're in it.
Right.
Well, these animals want to talk about, I don't know what the word is, animalism, or the way we look at animals is evolving. It has to, and it's necessary for us to evolve as a species. It's very necessary for us to, once and for all, wow, this is really big and important. They're saying it's necessary for us to honor and respect and treat animals with love and kindness, just the way you treat another human.
Yeah. They're almost teaching us what it is to be enlightened and live in the level of compassion and joy and love. There,
Yep.
we have a role model, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Never thought of it that way.
No, I gotta say, neither did I. I mean, this is really enlightening to me. I didn't expect, first of all, these animals to show up.
Mm,
And for them to have this lesson. Um, well, that's pretty amazing to me. Some of this stuff that happens over here, man, you wouldn't even believe it. It's just nuts.
Oh, I know. I know. Well,
In a good way, right? In a good way.
we're trying to understand. We're trying to describe to people what it's like. But let me go back to the animals really quick, because you said there's all kinds of animals.
Yeah.
Are there animals that are extinct on our plane that are there with you?
Yeah. 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 I've seen, not right now, right? Because here is just uh, the what we have today are the soft, sweet spirits. We've got
Okay.
horses, cows, pigs, chickens. I think it's a lot of traditional friends of man
Okay.
animals. A few mice and rats, but yeah, mostly like domesticated, crowd of domesticated,
Sure.
more not so wild animals. Because I'm not seeing our lion tiger friends here, but
Okay.
um, I have seen dinosaurs over here.
Oh,
I've
wow.
I, I've seen a velociraptor, which I thought was really amazing and cool. The
Are they
spirit,
what you see over there? Are they as we imagine them here?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, no, they don't go around looking for things to eat.
Not like Jurassic Park.
No,
You're saying.
no, not like that. But cool stuff like that, right? Cool stuff.
Well, I was just wondering if the extinct animals might have a special message, but we can touch that at another time, unless there's one there.
No, I mean, not today.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. So, this is your chance, my son, to tie this all up with a bow or add anything that you would like to add before we end this session for everyone.
Well, I've said this before, but I will say it again. It's like when I was in the human body, that's what I enjoyed the most was, being really physical. And that's sort of what people miss the most over here. So, it's a gift, it's a blessing for you, anyone who's watching this, right? For you to have a body.
Hmm.
And so to honor God, you must love yourself. You must take care of yourself. You must do things that feed yourself, your soul.
Okay.
So, just it's an act of, I didn't get when I was in real life, okay, real life, being a human, I didn't get it that everything is really so connected back to God. And I'm saying God as the generic God.
Okay.
I don't want to alienate anyone else in their religion. There's what I believe and what I know to be true on this side is all rivers lead to the same ocean, and I think we've said that before. So it's meaning that every religion has a piece of truth,
Sure.
and
And we're all connected on some level or all
you're
levels.
all coming over here when you die. Let's just face it, everyone's coming over here.
Yeah.
So um, use your time on earth to live well, live the best life you can. And whether you're of humble means or have a lot of money, I mean, whatever it is that feeds your soul, you can find it and you'll know it when you find it. Keep
Yeah.
looking if you haven't found it yet. Maybe you just like to sit around and read a book. Um, Maybe you can get lost in a great book. That's easy and quick to do. There's just so many things that people on this side, well, there's just special gifts of being in a human physical body that it doesn't feel the same on this side. So cherish it, treat yourself well, live your best life. Now I know a lot of this stuff sounds corny, but this is the stuff that they want me to emphasize for you
Okay.
is
That's-
self-love, feeding your soul, having joy, um, is a natural balance that needs to be happening a lot more. The world's way out of balance because people are way too stressed out.
Yeah. Even small joys are important, right?
Yes.
like you said, reading a book or helping others or helping animals or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But experience it. It's important.
You got to find some laughter. You got to find some love. You've got to find some fun. Have some fun in your life.
Okay.
It's really, really important. It's part of your soul's connection to God, to the other side.
Yeah. Well, I've always heard that, laughter raises our vibration, good laughter,
Yeah.
and it truly does. It's up there with love and joy and compassion. And so I thank you for that, Robbie. It's a good reminder to all of us to take time out for ourselves and the little things in life. Appreciate
Yeah.
the little things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want you to give all those animals you're around a big hug for me, especially if any of my dogs and my dear Shadow is with you. Tell them thank you for the dream.
They are. Yeah.
And
That's great.
and if I think we're going to have to wrap it up right now until next week. So I'm going to ask you to let my friend Marty come back, and I'll talk to you next time, honey.
Thanks, Mom.
Or you want a subject talked about, drop me a line, leave me a comment, and we will certainly ask Robbie. I know Marty's back because the first thing she does is touch her hair, her husband said. So, strong. Loved his messages. And so with that, I will thank everybody again for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks, Marty.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.